Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I dyed my hair. What do you think? Not the point. Today's video is a quick little tutorial on how I blend my eyeshadow out. If you would like to see how I blend out my eyeshadow, keep on watching. To start, you always want to make sure to prime your eyes, and a super affordable eyelid primer I really like is the e.l.f. eyelid primer, and this is a translucent primer. So I always make sure to first go over my eyes with some concealer just to cover up any discoloration, veins, or anything like that. And then I just apply this to my eye using my finger. And I like to keep the majority of the product on the lid because that is the area that I'm going to want the most sticky. And then with the excess, I blend out towards where the outer wing, I guess, will be. And you can use just concealer to prime your lids, but I just find that with my slightly hooded eyes that using an actual eyelid primer works best for me, especially when it comes to like glittery shades and stuff. Now I'm going to be using the Zoeva. I'm not really sure how to say that. I think it's Zoeva. I don't know. Blank Fusion palette, because it has this bottom row of mattes that are all really similar to each other. So this is a really good palette for blending. And then I'm going to start by taking this lavish tapered blending brush. And yes, it's clean. It's just pink on the tip to match the brush. I don't know. And I'm going to start with the very light shade over here, travel inspired, and I'm going to tap my brush into the pigment. And as you can see, I like to twirl it a little bit just to make sure I get the brush nice and covered. And then always tap your brush off, especially if you do your face makeup before your eyeshadow, because you do not want fallout. I like to hold my brush like this at the end of the brush and point it downwards while I'm blowing out the outer edge of it. And then when I go towards the crease, I use the tip. And that shade really didn't do anything for me. It's basically just my skin color apparently. So since that shade did not show up at all, I'm just going to go back in with the same brush, and this time I'm going into Joy in a Box, and I'm just going to do the same thing. And tap it off. And then once again, pointing my brush downwards and holding it from the edge. And then use the tip to blend into the crease. And another big tip for blending your eyeshadow, always look down into a mirror, because if you're looking straight ahead like this, if I'm just looking straight ahead, I'm missing the whole entire crease. Always look down. And then once I feel like the brush is pretty clean of the product, I angle it downwards and scratch out the edges with the tip of the brush. The number one rule in eyeshadow that I think everyone should follow is the darker the shade, the smaller the brush. So obviously I used a pretty fluffy brush to blend out my base shade and to smoke it out, I guess. And now I'm going to go into this collab crease brush, which, as you can tell, it is quite a bit smaller and narrower than the first brush. I'm going to take Question of Taste, this taupe brown shade over here. And same thing as with the first shade, tap the brush into it and then tap it off. And for this brush, same thing. I like to hold the edge of the brush and then hold it in a downward angle and focus this one on the crease. And you can always go back into more pigment, but you can never take away, so always be mindful of that. It's better to build up than to just go all in and it's a mess. And then I like to go back into my original brush and use that to blend that crease shade into the original shade. Now I'm going to take an even smaller brush. So for comparison, this is the brush we just used, and then this is the new brush, and this is a pencil brush from Lavish. And now I'm going to go into Conched, this brown shade in the middle. This one, I'm just going to focus it in the deepest part of the crease and the outer corner of the outer half of that crease. For anything in the crease, like as before, I like to keep the brush pointed into my crease and hold it from the edge of the brush. That just gives me the most control and the most precision. Now I'm going back in with the original brush and I'm going to mix Joy in a Box and Conched, so these two right next to each other. I'm going to use that to blend this edge out even more, just to make everything even more seamless. Now I'm going to take this same pencil brush and I'm just going to wipe it off to get most of that product off of it. And then I'm going to go into this darkest shade, Last Bite. And I'm going to pop it onto the outer corner of my eye, obviously. And I'm going to kind of make like a half circle with this. And this, for this shade, I am only taking it in about here and making sure to really get the deepest part of that shade into the deepest part of my crease. And then I'm going to go back in with that original fluffy brush and blend it into the rest of it, just to soften any harsh edges. And I don't know if you can really tell here, but I got a little bit of patchiness right here. So I'm going to go back into Conched with the crease brush and I'm just going to build that up a little bit more. Then take this brush and blend that out. For my lid, I'm going to take Late Bloomer and I like to use my finger to apply that. So I'm just going to focus the majority of the product by pressing it onto my lid and the inner corner of my lid to be exact. And then I like to blend it into my crease and the rest of my lid, still using my finger. Because like I said, I do have a slightly hooded eyes, so while I open my eye throughout the day, it's just going to transfer onto my crease. So I like to just place it there to start so it's all nice and blended out. And then for the lower lash line, I like to go in with a crease brush and I'm going to take Joy in a Box to start, and I'm really going to smoke it out with this shade. And then I like to go in with a brush like this. It is a Morphe MB16 brush, and it's more of like a smudging shade packing brush. I don't really know. But I'm going to take the deepest shade and I'm going to mix it with this middle shade right here. And then I'm going to focus that on the lash line, tight lining it as close to the waterline as possible, and then making sure to blend it into the top shades to make everything more seamless. So that is it for how I blend my eyeshadow out. Let me know down below if you like this video and also what other types of videos you would like for me to film. And be sure to subscribe if you aren't already, because I will be doing a giveaway when I get to 100 subscribers. So make sure to share this video with all your friends so they can subscribe too. I'm so weird. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye! See how I don't know what to do with my hands. A super affordable your face makeup before the rest of your foundation. No. Honey. Honey.